When you're out here today, in this off season, do you simulate the game in your mind? Is it a game? Is it, hey, I'm going to have to make this pass?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like, I try and practice the way that I'm going to play. And I think in order to do that, you have to put yourself in those game type situations. Dan talks about it all the time. When we get to the game or we get into a critical situation, we're real comfortable because we feel like we've been there before. And so, I try and work on that as much as I can during the off season so that we're ready when the season rolls around.
You're getting ready to start year 10. How much of this has changed in 9 years of being a professional quarterback?
It's a lot different. You have more scars. I guess when you're 10 years in, you kind of know what works, what doesn't work. And that experience can be a good thing or it can be a bad thing. I think I've been fortunate to be able to use the positive and negative experiences throughout my career to kind of make me better. And I've learned, what works for me. And, I feel like I'm in a really good spot in year 10, much better than I was year 1 or 2.
Even when it's the Super Bowl, even when it's the biggest games, is it sometimes just like being on the practice field at Penn Charter again?
For sure. I think back to like how many throws that, you've had in the course of your life that you practiced from, one of the throws in the Super Bowl, I threw a touchdown to Austin Hooper in the back of the end zone. And it reminds me of in our front yard at my parents' at our house growing up. And those throws all the time remind me of like, man, I worked on that with my brother Ma. It's like out in our driveway 25 years ago. And it's amazing to see how far we've come.
All right, so when you go to college, do you have that competitive expectation about going in there? What did you think your impact would be early? What were your expectations?
Yeah, I thought early, I needed some time to develop. Coming from the high school that I came from, we didn't throw the ball very much. My whole motivation, my first, 2 years in college was to just get on the field.
So once you get kind of at your sophomore season, in that area, you're kind of battling for the job. I mean, are you starting to kind of develop who we see today?
I think so. I think that time for me was really good. I think, for a lot of athletes, especially professional athletes, most of your life, you've always been one of the best players on your team. And things, not to say they're easy, but you were always playing. And that was the case for me. Whether it was football, basketball, or baseball, I was always involved. I was always a part of the team. I was always on the field. And really the first time for me at BC, not winning the job in my sophomore year was, I feel like that it made me tougher. It gave me more motivation.
Looking down the middle to the end zone. Touchdown, Boston College. What a throw by Matt Ryan.
All right, so you go through this quarterback battle, literally with Quentin Porter to go through that job. You're pretty determined at this point.
Yeah, for sure. So, battled it out my sophomore year. I ended up playing the second half of the season, but then I go to my junior year and I sprained my ankle in the first game of the season. We played Central Michigan, so I played 3 weeks through that and then broke my 5th metatarsal in my left foot. Came back in. I could play through it, fortunately, but that year really, I feel like, made me realize I can go to another place. I could go to another level of toughness, of mental toughness, of playing through things.
Ryan hanging tough in the pocket, throwing to the end zone, touchdown, Boston College! Oh my, what a pass and what a catch!
I learned a lot about playing the position, playing through that injury, and certainly, came out on the better end of it my senior year. I feel like I learned a lot, of ball that junior season.
Throwing down the field for Cannell, who's wide open at the 5, to the end zone, touchdown, Boston College, what a throw! He dropped it out of the sky. Take a bow, Matt Ryan. That was a beauty.
You've benefited from adversity in a lot of different ways. You sense that, hey, I know how to handle this better than others, and maybe this is why?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a lot of people who are really good at it. I think I'm good at it. I think one of the things that I believe in is that It's just about when everything around you is crazy and people make this situation out to be bigger than it is, you just do the same things you always do. And I think if you can detach yourself from those situations and define the moment and not let the moment define you, you know, that's what it's all about.
For all the things that have happened as a pro, where does the win in Blacksburg rank in Matt Ryan's world?
It's tough to rank, but it's up there. Thursday night football in college at the time was huge because there was no Thursday night NFL football. Luckily, they don't remember me playing terrible for the first 55 minutes of the game.
66,000 plus, making a lot of noise.
Thursday night was Virginia Tech night at that time, or like mid-2000s. They just dominated on Thursday nights. And so to go down there, play in that stadium, have the comeback that we did, to be a part of it, you know, it's about as good as it gets.
Throw into the end zone for Callender. Touchdown! Andre Callender's got it! Touchdown! Boston College! Unbelievable! Boston College, they have beaten the Virginia Tech Hokies.
For sure, one of my best memories of playing sports, and definitely, you know, one of my favorite memories from college.
10 years into a pro career, is that the launching point for everybody to know Matt Ryan?
I think so. You know, it's one of the things that most people, when you mention college or playing at BC or anything, they're like, man, I remember that Thursday night game. The amount of attention that went along with it after. I mean, it was cool because it wasn't that way at BC, you know, all the time. And a lot of other guys got exposure to it from that, which was really cool. We had a lot of great players on our team.
Hey, we got to finish now, finish tomorrow, right? Finish strong. That's important for us this whole offseason, man. Let's finish what we do. Finish on 3. 1, 2, 3. Finish!
When you make the move to the league, does the college experience and all the things that have happened for you personally help you professionally?
100%. I think, you know, the experiences, the lessons that I learned in college are very much applicable to, you know, what you go through in the NFL. It's about working really hard and bringing the guys around you further than you think you can go. And that's what, you know, I think I learned at BC. I think we did a great job of that, of taking our guys in our group further than, you know, we had gone before. And that's kind of the same thing that you try and do in the NFL, is bringing new guys in and getting them adjusted and trying to take them further than they think they can go.
Is the mental, physical disappointment, Matt, is that kind of what is the energy now, year after year, to keep getting better, to do something, to get better, to take that next step?
For sure. You know, I think you learn the most from, you know, from your defeats. You learn the most from your shortcomings. And that's what we try and, you know, focus on all the time, is writing the course. I mean, we had a tough loss at the end of last year, and the season did not end the way that we wanted it to. You know, but that's another carrot for us in front of us that we got to go chase. And for me, that's what it's all about. It's about working hard. It's about achieving things that you haven't achieved before. And at the end of the day, hopefully at the end of my career, that's holding up a couple of trophies.